Hey, I'm Joe with RevZilla, and today we're going to take a look at the Kuryakyn Torke Dry Tank Bag available at RevZilla.com. Now, Kuryakyn's been in the motorcycle biz since 1989, and they're based in Wisconsin. You may be used to seeing all of the bolt-on accessories that they've had for cruisers over the years, but now they're branching out into adventure-type luggage, like we have here with the Torke lineup. This is a 7-liter, fully waterproof tank bag that's magnetic and also includes straps. So you can use this tank bag whether you have a steel tank or a plastic or aluminum tank too. Obviously, this is geared for adventure riders. The full Torke lineup of luggage is definitely more adventure styled, but of course you could use this tank bag on a wide variety of motorcycles regardless of the style. And at around $108, it's right around the middle of the price point compared to other waterproof tank bags this size, but it does have a lot of unique features to it. And don't forget that RevZilla offers that price match policy if you do find it for less elsewhere. Now, again, I mentioned earlier that the Torke lineup of luggage is pretty unique from Kuryakyn, so be sure to take a look at the full lineup, which includes a set of saddlebags, a duffel bag, and also a backpack. So you could really outfit your bike with a full kit of waterproof luggage from Kuryakyn there. Getting into the construction of this bag, this is made of double-coated, fully waterproof, RF welded TPU. That's a lot of words for a little bag. So let's break it down. So when we talk about RF welding, it's radio frequency welding that uses high pressure and electromagnetism to bond the panels of the bag all together all throughout. So there's no chance of it leaking. It's very rigidly attached all throughout. You could see the reinforcement panels, of course, for the handle, how it's bonded all the way around. And of course, it looks really nice. It definitely beats poking stitching through a bag and then having to seam seal it. So it's pretty unique how the RF welding works. Now, when we say TPU, that stands for thermoplastic polyurethane. You're probably used to hearing us talk about that with riding gear. You know, if you talk about the little pieces of armor on gloves or a jacket or things like that, generally they're kind of like a harder plastic piece. Now, with TPU, it could be made more plasticized or more rubberized. So what we have here is a more rubberized version of a TPU. Now, I will say that this bag is not stretchy like you would think an inner tube would be, but it definitely has a different feel to it compared to some of the other dry luggage out there that's made of that double laminated tarpaulin material. So it definitely has a unique feel to it, of course. Now, getting into some of the features of the bag, you'll see that there's two zippers. There's a zipper pouch for the mat pocket on the top, and then a zipper here to get to the main compartment. These are fully submersible IPX7 rated zippers. They're totally waterproof zippers. Now, with that, of course, they're a little bit stiff to open and close. So it is normal for them to put up that much resistance, but it does make it a two-handed affair to open and close them. Now, there is some zipper lube included with these bags, and of course, I think that over some time, the zippers will break in and be a little bit easier to use. But the mat pocket does work with electronic devices that are touchscreen sensitive. I put my phone in here and I was able to manipulate my maps programs and stuff like that in here nicely. And it's a really big pocket here, of course, so if you have a large format smartphone, that'll fit right in there, no problem. And now we also have this air bleeder valve here too. So with this bag being fully waterproof, it's also airtight. So as you can imagine, as this bag sits in the hot sun, it's going to try to expand. So you could open this valve up and let the hot air out and then tighten it up if the rain starts to come down. This is the same kind of valve you're probably used to seeing with your camping gear if you have a camp mat. Now, moving around to the sides of the bag here, you'll see that these little nylon web straps are not just a styling exercise. This is to actually mount the bag to the motorcycle. So I was able to use some of the different straps that are included, including the magnets here, of course, that we'll get to in a second, to mount the bag to my Tiger 800 XC. So we'll get into that in just a second, but just know that those are functional there. Getting around to the back of the bag here, you'll see these two big pads here. Each one has 3 big magnets in it, so it really attached rigidly to the steel tank on my Tiger, which I thought was really nice. And then, of course, these straps at the top will go to the tether that goes around the neck of the motorcycle. With magnetic tank bags, you'll notice that you will need to have a tether around the front for added security. It also makes it nice when you go to fuel up, you could just kind of flip the bag off to the side and fill your gas tank up, and then when you go to put it back, that tether is still attached there, of course. Around this side, same deal, those little nylon web straps there for mounting. And getting into the interior, we'll open up this main strap here, or main zipper here. Now, the one nitpick I had about this is that, you know, with this being on your motorcycle, like if I'm on my motorcycle like this is the front. So the bag opens away from me. That is a benefit because the bag does double as a backpack. There is some backpack straps included, but I think that was their intention with it opening away from you so that when it's upright like this, when you have the backpack straps on it, it opens like a traditional backpack. But most of my tank bags that I've used in the past open toward me. So it's not really a big deal, but I think that if you did have a big smartphone in here, it would make it a little bit more fiddly to get to the interior. But as you get to the interior here, you'll see this orange reinforcement panel, which helps the bag keep its shape when it's empty. I know that most motorcyclists don't have our bags packed all the way to the gills all the time. So it's nice for them to be able to hold their rigidity and hold their shape when we're going down the highway so the bag isn't blowing around in the wind. Now you'll also notice inside the bag, there's these Velcro pieces here. Now with the rest of the Torke lineup, they include a mesh interior bag that has a Velcro panel on the back that you can attach to that. Now the tank bag itself doesn't include one, but if you have any of the other pieces of Torke luggage, you could take one of those mesh pouches out of one of those bags and put it in here if you wanted to keep some of your gear separate inside this little bag. But nice touch from Kuryakyn either way. Now getting into the installation, of course, if you have a steel tank and you're using the magnet feature, and then you only need to attach one strap, you're only looking at maybe a couple minutes to get this on your motorcycle. But if you do need to use 4 straps to get it to your bike, it might take you 10 or 15 minutes or so once you figure it out. Now, the included straps, there's a couple that you're probably used to seeing that are single-ended, where this would loop through part of the frame of the motorcycle, and then of course this loops through itself, so then that's nice and rigidly attached to the bike. And then these straps here, they just pass through the little nylon webbing here. And I did notice that they broke in. After I tried this a few times, it got a lot easier to use. So with some use, mounting and dismounting of the bag will be a lot easier. So that's really rigidly mounted to the bike like that. And then to open it, you just flip it up and pull it back through. So a piece of cake with that. But Kuryakyn was pretty generous with the straps, so you can get creative with mounting it to your bike. And again, the backpack straps are a nice touch. So Kuryakyn, I think, did a great job with their first attempt at adventure dry luggage. So if you want to see what other riders have to say, click the info button on your desktop or mobile device. And if you have any questions about this or anything else you see on our website, give our Gear Geeks a shout at 877-792-9455 or shoot an email over to cs@RevZilla.com. Thanks for watching our video today about the Kuryakyn Torke Dry Tank Bag. I'm Joe, and I'll see you next time.